Here's Brody Brazil.
So a couple weeks ago, in fact, right after April 19th, when the A's announced that they would be shifting their focus entirely to Las Vegas, I decided to start paying attention to Las Vegas media coverage, as in how are they seeing the other side of this? Obviously, Oakland has its own perspectives, but what is Las Vegas seeing and saying about potential relocation for the A's? Now, obviously, their initial reaction and impression was a lot of excitement and joy about potentially landing a big league baseball franchise. They said how they'd packed the stadium and they were making Oakland jokes and possum jokes and whatever. I digress. But now I just wanted to go back and kind of take the temperature of Las Vegas media all over again. I think I have 6 or 7 different clips here to play. So let's begin with what they said on a radio show a couple days ago. And again, these are just some of the first things I came across. This is not everything. I just am trying to sample what I could literally find out there on the internet.
The A's soap opera continues. Oh my goodness, my brain's going to explode. Yes.
Your brain's going to explode. Try Oakland.
They were telling you that the team was starting to now flirt with its old exes. Even though it had the Wild Wild West land, we thought, hey, that's where they're going to build it. 49 acres, done deal.
But
they have a
is
binding
land
agreement.
Take backsies? Like, I don't understand. Like, I don't really want it anymore. Like, that's so crazy to me.
Okay, they had a binding agreement with Station Casinos.
Mm-hmm.
They did not say how much they bought this land for. I think the rumors around $150 million.
Which does seem pretty accurate, by the way, in retrospect.
Binding agreement, I don't think says you have to buy this for $150 million. It probably has a little escape clause that says, hey, if you don't take this, you have to pay us X million of dollars.
It did say, what we understand it did say, the binding agreement was that if the A's couldn't secure the public funding, they could get out of that binding agreement.
So that's probably what they're doing there. They're exercising that right. And then they're instead going to knock down the Tropicana and build this stadium on the land over at the Tropicana, Las Vegas Boulevard and Trop.
9 acres.
They're not going to have to pay money for the site.
True.
Because they essentially, like Bally's, who owns Tropicana. This is so confusing.
They run it.
Bally's down the street was owned by Caesars, but there's another company called Bally's that owns Tropicana, which is part of the reason why they named Bally's Horseshoe.
Is this Sean? Is this Amy and Sean? Sean, I feel you right now, buddy. I really do.
We're getting really crazy. Yeah. Whatever the case, they now lease the land. So they pay X amount, like whatever's on the...
It's going to be $10.5 million a year, I think, for 50 years.
And they're going to pay X amount of dollars for the lease. So they're going to knock down the stadium. Or
the hotel.
Knock down the casino, build a stadium there, and then build surrounding hotel casino around that stadium, supposedly. This means that the team has now lowered its public ask for money to $350 million.
$395 million.
It's so confusing.
Yeah.
And now, like, at least the Trop and Dean Martin property there, like, you can take Dean Martin, you can take Tropicana. If you're coming from the east,
Now, this is, again, what I appreciate is this is stuff I don't know. This is local knowledge of ingress, egress, and how locals would prefer to get to a ballpark site.
Go around a little bit, take Dean Martin from, like Blue Diamond or something like that. If you want to get there and not have to go to the Strip.
Not have to go to the Strip for a local.
But now that it's going to be on the Strip, it's going to be a disaster.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It's already bad enough.
Right.
And there are people who are like, oh, the Aces play and they sell out. Yeah, the Aces sell like 200 and some odd thousand.
And mind you, I mean, I don't know Amy and Sean of what, 102.7, 92.7, 102.7. But I mean, they look like true Vegas people. Golden Knights, hat and shirt, Aviators shirt. I mean, these are people who would be the A's fan base in Las Vegas.
Right.
Seats a season. 81 games, 30,000 seats that they're expecting locals to fill. 2.8 million seats they need to sell. It's a terrible idea to put it here.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And I'm just saying, I'm surprised that that they are at this viewpoint, to be honest with you.
It's crazy.
Stories at 1027vgs.com.
And also, like, the Trop just like did like a little makeover, like what 5-6 years ago, and
Sure,
now they're just gonna blow it all up.
It's going to be in a rubble pile
Crazy.
soon.
Yeah.
It needed that makeover since the last time I've seen it.
Supposedly, or not. I don't even know if they're coming now.
Right.
Gotta be honest.
Whoa! All right, that's one video. Let's go to local news.
Well, the Tropicana Las Vegas opened in 1957, over 6 decades ago.
And apparently, there's some chatter that people are trying to register it as a national historic site. I don't know about that.
Remains one of the longest standing Strip properties.
That's right. Now the Oakland A's are eyeing the land for their new ballpark. Our Brian Horwath found out not everyone is on board with the late inning proposal.
Oh, good baseball reference there. A lot of curveball references, late inning stuff. Can I just say, I want to compliment my presenters here. The red tie, the red outfit, good coordination. I'm sure it wasn't planned, but good coordination.
Hardly any casino hotels on the Strip are as old as the Tropicana Las Vegas, but its era may soon be coming to an end. If the Oakland A's decide on this site for a new ballpark, this could soon be a big pile of rubble. Tony Fields visits Las Vegas several times a year. On this trip, he and his wife are staying at the Tropicana, a
Why?
destination he says he doesn't want to be torn
Whoa!
down to make way for
What?
a new Oakland A's ballpark.
Why did we need to use that shot? Or why? Okay.
The Tropicana is a landmark. And landmarks, you don't tear down landmarks, you know.
The Tropicana, a 3-story hotel structure, opened nearly 70 years ago on the south end of
Look at
the
those
Strip.
shots.
Las Vegas native and real estate developer Lorenzo Dumani remembers it fondly. His father and uncle owned it for a time in the 1970s.
That is so different, to be honest. That is crazy how different things are. And is that snow on the ground? On the trees? Unbelievable.
In order for it to be successful, they needed to modernize it, so they built the high-rise, which is that building there, although in those days it was beautiful.
Dumani says celebrities were frequent guests. Even sports icon Muhammad Ali used to train in the hotel's showroom.
So Muhammad would do like a training camp / comedy act. He had the boxing ring on top of the stage. He'd train. They charge $5 or $10 a head.
Despite the memories, Dumani says he wouldn't mind seeing the property raised.
It went from a class act that was probably the nicest on the Strip in the 70s to what it is today, which is something that I think an implosion would help it.
So far, there's no solid plan for a ballpark. Reporting from the Strip, I'm Brian Horwath.
All right, that's what we call a tag in the broadcast world. On camera, say one last thing and sign off. Is it Brian? Thank you for that, Brian. Okay, let's switch to the Fox 5 affiliate.
The clock is ticking for the Oakland A's to make a deal. The team wants $500 million in public funding or mechanisms to build a stadium near the Strip.
Now, that might be for the old site still. Maybe they didn't have updated information. I think this clip is from 1 or 2 days ago. We'll figure out as we watch here.
Jacqueline Zierschi's been digging into the concept of the tax district.
Yeah, what on earth is a tax district?
Well, if you've been following the Howard Terminal saga, you know everything about a tax district.
How could it actually work? Tonight, we're getting an exclusive look at the pitch from A's to lawmakers.
Although I don't know that this is the exclusive pitch, because I don't think in this report, if I'm correct here, I don't know that we're actually going to get the ultimate details. More like the broad scope, which has been painted out by the A's to Oakland and now to Las Vegas.
How they say tax breaks could help the stadium pay for itself, and why the public would essentially own a ballpark.
This stadium is going to be owned by the public, right? This stadium is not owned by the A's.
That's Jeremy Aguero, by the way.
Aguero,
who works for a company called Applied Analysis, who the A's are paying to work with him for his consultation.
Applied Analysis explains the team's pitch to Nevada lawmakers. What the A's build on this land, taxpayers will own.
Okay, so this story, let me just clarify. This seems to be from a little bit ago. This is obviously the old Wild Wild West site. You can see the Tropicana site right on the other side of the Strip, right beyond the Excalibur there.
He's helping the A's negotiate a bill on a possible so-called tax district. One lawmaker says a tax district is one way for a massive project to help pay for itself.
That's true.
A tax district is really just kind of a technical term that says, imagine that we draw a boundary around anything and just say that whatever the taxes are that are generated within that boundary, that we're going to use them for a special purpose.
I think what the A's had also suggested, and again, none of this is for sure because it's not been officially presented, but also in this district, they and the site and anything on the site would be exempt from maybe ever even paying taxes. State, regional, local, county, city, whatever.
In a proposed sports and entertainment improvement district, a ballpark would automatically generate the following taxes: live entertainment, payroll, insurance, sales, and even retail from supplies for construction. Aguero explains tax revenue could be reinvested back into the project to offset the cost.
So they'll still collect the tax for everything, but the local government, local resources, hospitals, schools, they won't get any of that. It'll go into paying for the project.
They ask for a property tax exemption.
There's what I was saying before, the property tax exemption.
Would make the ballpark publicly owned. A proposed lease would be 30 years with a penalty clause.
So again, this sounds like more of a publicly funded stadium. And obviously, we're talking about public money here, but stadium would be eventually publicly owned and a 30-year lease with a penalty for relocation.
Before the term of the lease is over, they're required to pay off the bonds that were issued in support of its construction. So if the A's, under unfortunate or unexpected circumstance, were to leave Southern Nevada, the public should own a baseball stadium free and clear.
Aguero says these packages are typical for other stadiums, and negotiations mimic deals done for Tesla's factories. In Northern Nevada, Aguero was hired by the team to analyze the economic impact of a baseball
Again, was hired by the A's to do this.
Stadium, which includes 400,000 rooms booked a year by visitors.
I'm sure you've heard a lot of the skepticism from Las Vegas locals. Will this team invest the money in a winning team?
It's largely misplaced.
It's largely misplaced. She asked a very... Let me rewind this for a second. Sorry. She asked the question that A's fans had been asking for a long time. If you get Howard Terminal, does this mean that you make more and in turn invest more in actually the team?
This team invest the money in a winning team.
It's largely misplaced. Let's not forget that this team is going to invest over $1 billion in this stadium. Right? That gives them about 1 billion reasons to make sure that the fans in there have a great experience, that they come back.
I don't know if that was a yes or no.
Lawmakers say the A's could ask for $150 million in tax credits as well from the state.
$150 million in tax credits in addition to the $500 million back then? Interesting.
So what actually ends up in the bill will be up to the governor and lawmakers. Lombardo says if the bill is not passed by the end of the session, he'll explore his options, but has not said whether he would actually call back a special session. John.
All right, there you go. That report from Fox 5. We're going to the CBS Channel 8 affiliate now. Ooh, breaking news.
Breaking at 4, multiple sources reporting the Oakland A's have made an agreement on a new site.
Sorry, is that what is that our first rendering? Is that what it looks like? That's a big infield.
Stadium will now be built on part of the Tropicana's property.
And by the way, I think that's the entire 39-acre site, which they're detailing there. 34 acres, 30-something acres, but the A's would only be utilizing about 9 of 39 acres. So a small portion of that square, not obviously that entire square.
Thank you for joining us at 4. I'm Kirsten Joyce.
And I'm David Charnes in for Brian. The move comes after that formal announcement just a couple of weeks.
By the way, they've now also incorporated already their own version of the A's logo. They've stopped using the Oakland Athletics logo. They've already made up their own Las Vegas A's logo. All right.
That the A's would be building the stadium on land owned by Station Casinos. 8 Sports Now reporter Ron Futrell here in the studio with the details. Ron, this is sort of a little change after that big announcement.
A little bit, moving a few blocks east is what they're doing here, David and Kirsten. What we got, the Oakland Athletics are throwing a little bit of a curveball.
All right, so we heard late innings before. We're doing all the baseball references. Now it's a curveball. And no offense, Ron. I mean, it's just a lot of people have been using that. Well, it's a curveball, and they're moving a couple blocks, which is true. Geographically, it's a couple blocks, but it's a couple blocks and now you're on the strip. on a very small piece of land.
On their site location for a new ballpark, reports are they are moving a few blocks east on Tropicana. In fact, the Tropicana Hotel site, one of the sites they were looking at early on in the process. This would put the ballpark right there on the Las Vegas Strip.
Now, he is right about that. I mean, this A's and Tropicana conversation, this has been going on multiple years, almost as long as their entire search in Las Vegas has been going on.
The A's play here often for Big League Weekend.
Often, they play once every year and every couple years lately. They come to Las Vegas at some point of spring training to do exhibition games.
Minor league team, the Aviators, play at Las Vegas Ballpark. Now, the A's have an agreement to buy the land where the old Wild Wild West casino was, just west of I-15 on Tropicana. But the Nevada Independent says they now have a deal to buy the Tropicana site. The hotel would be
not buy, rent the Tropicana site.
Also, the deal would reduce the amount of special tax district money needed from $500 million to less than $400 million.
$395.
Logan with the Aviators recalled recently the search the A's went on to find property in Las Vegas.
Watch this clip, by the way. The Aviators president, literally saying about how he was the facilitator of kind of chauffeuring A's brass around.
I was the chauffeur. I took John and Sandy and Dave Cavill, and we drove around the valley and kind of acclimated them with what was going on, and had some meetings with elected officials, and just started opening doors for them. So it's, like they've said, they've been very deliberate and very thoughtful in examining every opportunity here.
Now, the A's have this season and next season still on their contract with Oakland's Alameda Coliseum. They're looking at playing at the Las Vegas Ballpark downtown Summerlin until a new stadium is built. They figure by 2027 here in Las Vegas. Attendance has been way down in Oakland.
We know.
The A's have the worst record in Big League Baseball.
We know.
Now, the state legislature still has to approve the special tax district where those who use the ballpark would pay the taxes. It would not be a general tax on Nevadans. Still a lot to be done before the A's play somewhere here in Las Vegas.
Somewhere.
The Tropicana Hotel site. I'm Ron Futrell, 8 News Now.
Thank you, Ron. Appreciate that. Okay, we're back to Fox 5. This looks more like an afternoon or a midday or a morning show. Oh, no, wait, it's 5:39 a.m. or p.m.? I don't know.
After agreeing to buy land off the 15 to build a new stadium, the A's say, hold on. We have
Hold on.
New plan now. Now the team has a deal with Bally's to build a stadium where the Tropicana currently stands.
Yep, the deal would still include a $1.5 billion.
Wait a second, I need to go back on that. Did that person just go, yep?
The 15 to build a new stadium, the A's say, hold on. We have.
I think they're. Oh, is that an eye roll? Wait, did I really freeze it on? Is that an eye roll?
New plan now. Now the team has a.
I'm not criticizing anybody. I'm just saying that's instant human reaction right there.
Deal with Bally's to build a stadium where the Tropicana currently stands.
Yep, the deal would still include a $1.5 billion stadium, but would require less public funding.
Just the body language and the delivery here. Like, I'm a presenter. This is what I do. And I don't need to say much more. Just watch this.
At $500 million, the A's would be asking for $395 million.
Look at his look now. There's so much animation here.
Okay.
All right. So.
Okay. Wait. Hang on. Sorry.
$500 million. The A's would be asking for $395 million. Okay.
All right. So State Senator Scott Hammond of Clark County says this is coming straight from the A's delegation. The Trop Hotel and Resort site, which you can see in green there, is being considered for a deal for a ballpark. The other site outlined in red on the other side of the 15 there, according to Hammond, is not entirely off the table. Now, the Tropicana site would not have that special tax district that the team said would be used to pay back the $500 million of public money.
Whoa, is that true? It wouldn't have the tax district on the Tropicana site? And by the way, they're in green highlighting right here the whole site. It's not that whole site. It's just 9 acres. The red is 49 acres. That gives you an idea. Like, look how much more space and land and opportunity there is for stadium, development, ballpark, village, all that stuff. The green site is not going to offer you that. But anyway, but I didn't know that. I'm not I'm not sure about the reporting on this. I just don't know.
Begs the question, without the taxes from that special district, how would the team pay that public money back?
Interesting. Let me just rewind this here for 1 second. I think we need to just hear all this again.
Of the 15 there, according to Hammond, is not entirely off the table. Now, the Tropicana site would not have that special tax district that the team said would be used to pay back the $500 million of public money, which begs the question, without the taxes from that special district, how would the team pay that public money back, even though it, at least as of proposed, is $105 million less? We don't know that answer yet.
That was the end of it. Oh, all right. Oh, sorry, buddy. I didn't mean to freeze frame you on a bad one there, but there's a lot of skepticism there. Okay, I think this is from the Las Vegas Review-Journal. Now, they're a newspaper, so they're not really they are a multimedia outlet, but they don't do television productions. I don't know what we're going to see here.
The Oakland A's have shifted their Las Vegas.
Look at the headline. I'm sorry, I'm cutting it off. The A's throw a curveball.
Stadium plans.
Here, let's rewind it here. Let's try this again.
The Oakland A's have shifted their Las Vegas stadium plans, entering an agreement with Bally's Corp to build a ballpark where the Tropicana sits. The Tropicana would be demolished to make way for the $1.5 billion, 30,000-seat stadium on 9 of the site's 35 acres.
So there you go, 9 of 35 acres.
The deal includes Bally's having an option to construct a hotel casino on the remaining acreage.
Option? You would think that would be a slam dunk, if I'm going to use Sports Reference.
However, during the earnings call Tuesday, Bally's president didn't make it clear if talks between the A's and Bally's remained ongoing.
Wait, it's Thursday, and they said on Tuesday, and this came out, I think, on Wednesday, yesterday. So even as of Tuesday, interesting. All right, I guess that was the end of that clip. Okay, one more here, I think. This might be the last one from the Review-Journal.
The Oakland Athletics' potential ballpark site switch would give the team a stadium with a strip view. Plans for the stadium...
It would have a strip view. Let me make sure I got that again.
The Oakland Athletics' potential ballpark site switch would give the team a stadium with a strip view.
See, I actually think the old site, because a ballpark has to face easterly or even northeasterly, which would give the Wild Wild West site, like if you're facing east and you're west of the Strip, you would face the Strip. But if you are on the east side of the Strip and you have to face east, and Harry Reid Airport is east, directly east of the Tropicana site. Even if you're in a retractable roof, I mean, all of the new retractable stadiums of modern times face east still. Interesting.
Plans for the stadium at the Tropicana Resort site call for the baseball diamond to face northwest, allowing fans facing outfield to see the Strip in the background.
Howard Terminal could not be built facing west or northwest because of sun reasons. Everybody wanted it to face the water. It couldn't. For a reason.
Legislation for the stadium development agreement is being drafted, and a bill is expected to be introduced in the legislature next week.
Okay. If this next one is Amy and Sean, I think, yep, well, all right, we're back to where we started. So, again, look, I searched YouTube. I searched Las Vegas A's. I didn't go for everybody with a podcast. No offense. It's what I'm doing here. I didn't go for YouTubers. I was literally going for broadcast media. What is broadcast media saying about the A's? And surprisingly, there's more coverage, I think, in the Bay Area of this Las Vegas search than there might even be in Las Vegas. And that's not a knock. I'm just saying it's just hard to come by. In fact, I was even searching for information from our own NBC colleagues down there, and their YouTube just does not post a lot of Las Vegas A's stories. So I don't want to think that I was handpicking, I'm literally just saying anything that's relevant, I want to put in here. And that's what I came across. So I just wanted to give you that sample of Las Vegas media and how they're covering all of this. Thumbs up on this video, hey, since you watched here all the way to the end. And don't forget, subscribe to this channel so that I can see you next time.